MFI borrowers are expected to face cash flow mismatches and reprioritize their expenses, as a result of which the MFIs may experience high overdues. It also underlines the lack of diversification in MFI borrower profiles. In our opinion, this event highlights higher core capital requirement for MFIs to withstand systemic stress like this. Our analysis also suggests that most MFIs have liquidity in form of unencumbered cash and unavailed bank lines to tide over 30 to 60 days of servicing their obligation with a stoppage of business. In the long run, as money flow resumes, we expect that the enhanced banking habits of the customers would be a positive development for the entire sector and for the borrowers also, as their credit history improves.
A question that has perplexed many investors, given the growth in microfinance portfolio, especially the portion driven by growth in average ticket sizes. We've tried to address this through macro and micro analysis. Based on RBI and Labour Bureau data, we see that the growth in rural wages in last 2 years have not kept pace with rural CPI, but ticket sizes have grown at a furious pace. The pace of ticket size increase is also due to MFIs using prepayment to introduce the borrower to a higher ticket size within 15 to 18 months instead of a 24-month cycle. Although some of it is catch up for period of FY11 to FY13, where ticket sizes did not grow, we think the ticket size growth has to moderate to the levels of CPI. At micro level, based on the NSSO data and INDRA estimates, the maximum debt that a typical 2-income household microfinance borrower can service is about 50 to 60,000 rupees over 2 years. We think household debt for such borrowers borrowing from 2 or more MFIs could be near about at these levels. Further, with ticket size increases, the contribution to be borne by a current borrower for each delinquent borrower has increased beyond daily savings of about 80 to 100 rupees. As a result, the JLG structure may not be sustainable at higher ticket sizes. Based on this data, we think that a moderate segment of the existing MFI borrowers fall under the over-leveraged category. We also think that investor pressure is building up. Our assessment shows that investors are expecting 45 to 55% AUM growth at 3 to 4% ROA levels till FY 2020. This will definitely impact the quality of portfolio growth and also asset quality over the same period.
The growth in the gross loan portfolios of MFIs in 9 of top 10 states was driven more by an increase in ticket size than by an increase in the penetration as measured by client service per branch. This indicates an uptrend in leverage in these states. The top 12 MFIs, including small finance banks, which account for 88% of the GLP in this sector, registered 50% to 165% year-on-year growth at the end of first quarter of this financial year. As of the end of the first quarter, the average outstanding loan ticket size in these states was close to 20,000 rupees as compared to average sector ticket size of close to 19,000 rupees. India Ratings believe that continued focus of MFIs on some of the highest penetrated states has increased the risk of unreported multiple borrowings in such states. The agency's analysis of penetration indicates that West Bengal is the highest penetrated state, followed by Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. India Ratings estimate of the leverage levels of borrowers across the top 10 states indicate that such borrowers in Karnataka have the highest leverage, while those in Kerala have the lowest leverage. Wage rate based annual income to annual EMI ratio stands at in the range of 1.8x to 2x for Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha, and at 5x for Kerala. The currently reported PAR greater than 30 numbers have become artificially low because of the accelerated growth of MFIs last year. India Ratings estimate of PAR greater than 30 for first quarter of this financial year based on the base of the disbursement in first quarter of FY16 and second quarter of FY16 indicates that PAR greater than 30 crossed 1% in Gujarat, Karnataka and UP and is in fact close to 2% for Gujarat. Five of the top 12 MFIs analyzed by us have low geographical diversification and are exposed to regions with high default expectations. These 5 MFIs had a GLP of 96 billion at end of first quarter of this financial year. 4 MFIs with a total GLP of 181 billion have geographical distribution which is very granular and are present in regions with low default expectations. Based on the geographical diversification of these MFIs and riskiness of the covered geographies, only 3 MFIs have capital adequate to withstand single A rating level stress.
The spreads of MFIs over similar rated other NBFCs are higher in our view primarily because of the idiosyncratic risk that the sector faces, and this is attributed to the socio-political importance of the borrowers. This risk could be aggravated by the current credit assessment and operational processes that in our opinion need tightening. We think that the credit process should be tightened. 2 MFI norms must be interpreted as 2 lenders. Higher ticket size should need stringent credit assessment. Penetration should be increasingly driven by new to microfinance borrowers. On operational front, Aadhaar verification, prepayments not to be used as a common practice, disbursements and customers added should not be KRAs of the MFI employees. These are the practices that I think need to be implemented in spirit. Other factors that reduce the idiosyncratic risk include promoters or investors with longer investment horizon and slightly moderating return expectations. Quality penetration, which includes incrementally more new to microfinance borrowers, lower ticket sizes, diversification and branch and borrower vintage. We think pursuing the borrowers that are already in the microfinance fold will only increase the credit risk. On the group loans front, new to microfinance borrowers, ticket sizes, diversification by state, district and branch, borrower and branch vintage will be key monitorables as well as key factors that determine the quality of growth. Based on our earlier report, Microfinance Strong Comeback, we reiterate that small finance banks and NBFC MFIs will continue to play a key role in financial inclusion. However, they will have to tighten their credit assessment and operational processes. They will also have to develop expertise in individual loan products gradually, given that it's a 10 trillion rupees substitution of informal credit opportunity. Microfinance will need to sharply identify borrowers from their existing portfolios that can scale up their businesses and standard of living and provide them specific customized credit and liability products.